Hello there, welcome to the session. Hello there, welcome to the session. So I'm talking in two different languages, and you may be wondering what's wrong with this guy. Is he mad or what? Some screws are getting loosened. No, today's session is very important, and today's session is all about communication. And that's a very reason where we thought we will be kind of talking a lot about communication or vocabulary rather, right? So today what happens in majority of the places, I would say this is common among various category of people, right? um, you talk about teenagers, you talk about um, you talk about working professionals, you talk about any category of people. What happens today is communication becomes a major problem, and more importantly, vocabulary, right? They're not able to get adjusted to the local language. For example, people who are born and brought up in an Anglo-Indian family, they're well versed in English, but they just cannot pick up the local language. Or people who are born and brought up in, for example, Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Gujarat or Rajasthan, they are well versed in local languages, but if you ask them to talk in good English, what happens is they go through a major problem. Um, there is a saying, there is a research being done. What happens is our brains and mind, right? Um, it is so very used with the mother tongue, right? The mother tongue, you know the meaning of mother tongue, right? Mother tongue means the language which you are well equipped, well taught, and which you have used for enough expressions and everything and anything that you had done in your life, you have basically done with the help of that language, right? Expressing your emotions, expressing your communication, or however the way you would want to lead your life, you were driven by this communication, by this language, right? One overnight, what happens is this language just cannot get transformed or transferred to another language. It is a process, it takes time, and that's the first thing I want you people to understand, right? Because I have been in corporate industry for a very long time. I've literally seen people struggling to, struggling in their presentation skills, communication skills, not their interpersonal skills. They are very good in attitude. They have a strong attitude, but they have a problem to represent their thoughts. What is the simple definition of communication? Representing your thoughts, conveying exactly what you want to convey. That's all about it, right? What is in your mind, you need to transfer it to the other person's brain. That's all, right? And if the person has understood what you have conveyed, it's all about it. So at the beginning of the session, I had been using two different accents, one an Indian accent, one in the American accent. It doesn't matter. Accent doesn't matter. The style of communication doesn't matter. Um, Even grammar doesn't matter. I'm telling you, you can make grammatical errors, and nobody is perfect in grammar. I'm telling you, still they could find a certain problem with verb, noun, off, and they can kind of find errors. And even the person who's well versed, probably he is like Shakespeare or he is a poet, he or she also could make mistakes. So don't be so much carried away. Start focusing upon grammatical errors and there's the English style in which you speak or accent. That itself becomes a problem which takes you away from the what is the central focus that you need to convey what exactly you're thinking to convey. And the other person also should notice that, saying that yes, I've understood, this is exactly what you were trying to convey. Okay, fine, I think I'm now able to understand. If you're able to understand, if you're able to hear this as an acknowledgement from the other person, the other party, then I think you're successful. This is all about communication. So I think this is good enough for an introduction. Right now, let's get into our usual study of looking at the various nomenclatures, the aspects of communication or vocabulary. I would call it as more about vocabulary, right? Because why? Because I've heard many people seeking help. Can you please enroll a session talking more about vocabulary and how bad is my vocabulary? How good is my vocabulary? Can I improve or do I still have some hope in my life that I could improve? Do not worry, this session is for you. Okay. Now, why is vocal communication a problem to some or many or maybe all? Right, many people have problems, or maybe all the people have some or other problems in vocal communication, able to verbally communicate easily, right? What you think is what you need to talk. But in this language English, why? Because English is the official language. For example, if you're in Spain, Spanish is the official language, right? And in India, Hindi is the official language. But almost all the offices, including the government offices, they use this common language English. Why? Because in southern part of India, Hindi is not well received, right? In northern part of India, the South Indian languages are not well received. Therefore, there is a kind of a language conflict. Even people fight for language. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about politics here, but I'm talking about one common language, using which you are given that education, certification, graduation, all that is English. Therefore, it's being commonly followed. So let's pick up English as a language about which we are talking, and we will use that as an example. You can apply this principle to all the languages that you may be wanting to talk. If your local language is not English, you can still abide by these principles and could be well versed. All right. Now, what is vocabulary and why is it so very important? Very, very important question. No? Vocabulary, I explained already. Vocabulary is the key to reading, what I say, comprehension, right? You need to be comprehensive in exposing what is in your brains, what is your thoughts, and etc. Now, readers cannot understand what they are reading without knowing what most of the words actually mean. Correct. So, as children or adults, it applies to adults, learn to read more advanced language or texts, or the comprehension, right? They must learn the meaning of new words that are not part of their oral vocabulary, right? In your local language, the meaning of certain words, paraphrases, certain tense, the grammatical tense may be different. So you need to, if you convert exactly the same local language to English, it may convey a different meaning altogether. That's where most of the people tend to make not just the grammatical errors, the actual meaning of the sentence itself will change, right? We will see few examples, right? So what are the major two types of vocabulary, right? The English world has classified the vocabulary into two different types. First is vocabulary refers to the words we must understand to communicate effectively, right? Choice of words. There is, I'm not taking an English class here, but I'm just giving you certain tips, principles, so underlining guidelines, right? Therefore, you can use this and then you can basically help yourself. Now, vocabulary refers to the words we must understand to communicate effectively. What is that effective communication? It should be sharp, it should be crisp, it should be clear, it must not be rude. You cannot use unparliamentary languages. You cannot use F words, etc., etc. Wherever you are, right? Not just in office, wherever you are, no bad words allowed. That is not an effective communication. Why? Because if you, it will become an ineffective communication. Why? Because you will be triggering the emotion by using such nasty languages, right? It's not, I'm not saying that not allowed. I'm saying do's and don'ts. What is effective, what is ineffective, you need to understand as part of your emotional or interpersonal skills training. All these things will be naturally communicated. Now, educators often consider four types of vocabulary. Very simple, right? Listening skills, speaking or talking skills, reading skills. Not only just the eyesight, the power of your eyesight, short sight, long sight, doesn't matter. Reading skills, how well you read. Reading means perceiving as you're reading, how much you understand. Based on that, your skills will be measured. And writing skills, how much you can write, right? All these four are very important. Why? Because writing means nobody uses pen. In IT industry, nobody uses pen, but you need to type. No, that is also writing skills. Now, listening vocabulary refers to the words we need to know to understand what we hear. What you hear, your brain should process, right? For example, I use a word like contemporary, right? You will not contemporary, I don't know. Contemporary means modern world, contemporary world, both are same only. But some people pick this language or the word because they have learned it somewhere and they want to use it. And since you have not understood, see, one word could have many words could have the same meaning. Correct? No, contemporary, modern, both conveys the same meaning, but the words are different. This is where problem starts and problem arises. Speaking vocabulary consists of the words we use when we speak, and that's according to the speaker's choice, how reader's choice. Some people like novel, some people like fairy tales, some people like short summary, like how the reader's choice is depending on the person's interest. Likewise, speaker's choice, that's why you cannot judge the other person. He's not talking like me. There is no rules, there is no guidelines. Do's and don'ts are there. Why? Because effective communication, I told, right, how sharp it can reach. That's why you need to be careful of the do's and don'ts. Now, what is the importance of good vocabulary in making the communication more effective? Once again, we are talking about the effectiveness, right? Excuse me. Since comprehension is the ultimate goal of reading, you cannot overestimate the importance of vocabulary development. Words are the currency of communication. Like you have to carry money to buy something like that. You know what is the currency in communication? Money, words, the choice of words you use. A robust vocabulary improves all areas of communication: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. All four, right? What is vocabulary in the tense of communication? What is vocabulary communication? Little confusing. Yeah, tell me the fact. A vocabulary, also known as a kind of a word stock of words stocked in a container, that's called as vocabulary. Simple, no? You store water in a container, in a jar or in a jug or in whatever. What is that container? Stock of water in a container, that's called as vocabulary. Vocabulary is jug, water is word. Water means words. Simple. Or a word stock, a set of familiar words within a person's language, person's attitude, person's ethics, person's perseverance. A vocabulary usually develops as a progressive event, as you move from one age group to other age group, right? As you move from one, for example, primary school, high school, secondary school, and then you get into college and something like that, right? It changes, right? It's a fundamental tool for communication and acquiring knowledge. It also helps you to build your knowledge. Therefore, it's very important, all that I'm trying to say. Why? Because that's the basis, that's the kind of the basic foundation for everything that you're going to do for the rest of your life. That's why it's very important. uh, Now you can ask me a question: I didn't build the foundation properly, what to do? It's fine, you can now also lay the foundation. You can start from basics, right? Start from ABCD properly, and then you can learn vowels, grammar, and then you can learn new words and slowly start practicing. We'll give you certain tips. Don't be too much worried, don't be too much carried away with questions. Hang on, I'm questioning on your behalf and I'm giving you the answers. Why are you worried? Don't worry. Why we need to be rich in vocabulary during communication? Why at all my vocabulary is used to measure the quality of my communication? I think almost I answered, but still I will give you: the greater number of words you use or you have, right, the more he or she can interpret ideas from others, right? You can expand, exaggerate, right? You can be more dynamic, you can explain with beautiful examples, right? It's very important in any industry, right? Teaching industry, IT industry, aeronautical industry, you need to express your ideas. Dynamicity will be measured based on how your expression is positioned, and express your own ideas. It boosts your power of persuasion. You will be able to persuade and perceive and process. See, all these words are not complicated, simple words, but you may not understand, right? Like having a rich vocabulary will help you communicate in a more interactive way. You will get engaged, you will be part of the discussion, you won't be feel left alone, right? It helps you make a good impression on others. You want to impress somebody, you better be strong in vocabulary and communicate. Communication naturally follows. If you are strong in vocabulary, communication naturally follows. That's why I told you the difference between this one and that one, right? Vocabulary and communication. What are the benefits of vocabulary? Many people ask. Now I want to line it up very quickly. Benefit, all this time I've been talking about benefits of vocabulary only and how it helps you in improving your communication. But to just help you more better, I'm summarizing, right? What are the benefits of vocabulary? It helps you to get a comprehensive idea and explore the choice of words, articulating skills, narrating skills, right? And we all write that, what to say, in the childhood days we will be writing that essays, no? Essay, ESSAYs. What happens? They will be giving one topic only, but you need to expand it, right? Indian politics, Indian military, Indian economy, whatever, right? Something you need to visualize and write with your own narrative skills and explanations. That is the benefit of vocabulary, that it will build you as a person who is very strong to narrate and exaggerate. That's very important in any industry. No, you should be able to exaggerate things. Exaggerate means not moving away from the truth, but then expanding the truth, narrating the truth, helping other people to understand the truth. Now, don't ask me what is the definition of truth that you can find from Oxford University or Oxford Dictionary. I'm sorry. All right. An ability to understand the meaning of something is the benefit of vocabulary, right? It improves your eloquence, makes you very powerful, builds you dynamic, makes you very effective. Meaning, not you effective, your language will become very effective, right? It brings a lot of enlightenment. Education that results in the spread of knowledge. You will be the person who will be the source of spreading that knowledge. Don't you want to be one? I really want to be one. That's why I learned this English really, really. I worked hard. Now I'm able to speak to some extent, right? Profound scholarly language. Some people want to pursue doctorate and all that. Maybe you are educated from that local language, right? Kannada medium, Tamil medium, Telugu medium, Hindi medium, but still you want to pursue doctorate in PhD in English. You need to go through these basics, right? It builds you strong in expressions. You may be an introvert, but you will become an extrovert sooner or later, right? Expressions, solid in expressions. Fluency, you will be able to communicate. Earlier you will take 5 minutes to communicate something. Now 30 seconds is enough. Sharp, clear, crisp, you will be able to convey. And people will get bored. You keep bragging, and oh, when he is going to complete, man. People will start looking at you like a stammerer. Mama, mama, they'll be mumbling, right? But poor fellows, I'm not mocking them, but they will be start looking at you like that handicapped person, right? And literacy also will improve. These are the benefits of vocabulary, right? Why do learners struggle? Why do people struggle with vocabulary, man? Yes, this is the question you have been awaiting for, isn't it? Now, students with learning disabilities. Learning disability means not handicapped people, like blind. I'm not talking about those. Your eyes are working fine and all that. You're not a stammerer, right? They Disabilities are different, right? Perceiving skills. They are not able to just understand. Why? Because I told you the biggest hindrance is their mother tongue. They're always equating with the mother tongue. That grammar is different, this grammar is different, that script is different, this is different. So you need to understand that basic difference. Unless you admit that fact, you will not be able to cope up with this new language, right? They often struggle with reading comprehension because they do not possess the oral vocabulary that is a prerequisite to their understanding and retention of content area text. They were not able to get into the content, the core content. Why? Because of the hindrance. Limited vocabulary knowledge also, or limiting yourself to that English. It won't come for me, please. I'm not for it. I'm not. You shouldn't be quick to conclude, right? You have not explored it enough. It can build a negative impact, right? And be a hindrance to the development of your reading skills, comprehension skills, narrative skills, writing skills, even listening skills. Somebody will be talking, but half the words you won't be able to understand. Why? You have that hindrance, right? That is why learners are struggling a lot. Why can't I think of words while I'm talking? My friend, I tell you this, keep telling you this, you need to learn more words. Make it a practice. I'm going to give you certain tips, right? But I will also help you understand medically how it works, biologically how it, we are all human beings at the end of the day, no? So PPA is a term. I will explain a little bit about PPA. PPA means primary progressive aphasia. It's a medical term. I will tell you what it is and how it works in many people who who struggle to learn this English. PPA is caused by degeneration in the parts of the brain that are responsible for speech and language. Various areas in the brains of cerebellum area, cerebrum area, memory, one area will be there. That's why when you get hit in an accident, in that area, when it hits, no, short-term memory will come, or he will lose the memory. He will go back 30 years behind. That's how the brain works, right? That's why you need to wear a helmet, right? I'm not here to talk about traffic rules, but I'm telling you, the different parts of the brain holds different sensory organs and responsible. Some of the sensory responsibilities are speech and language. That's part of brain, not the sensory organs. I'm correcting my statement. Speech and language. Now, PPA begins very gradually and initially is experienced as difficulty thinking of common words while speaking or writing. PPA progressively worsens to the point where verbal communication by any means is very difficult. Now, don't start looking at PPA as a disease. No, it is a condition. Now I will talk more about PPA. What is PPA? I should have spoken that, but I need to tell you about the side effects of PPA. Then we'll talk about PPA. I thought so. PPA means primary progressive aphasia. Is a form of cognitive impairment, repair, right? Impairment that involves a progressive loss of language function. Why? Many reasons I told you already. One is your mindset hindrance. There is no disability in you. Don't understand, don't misunderstand this as a disease or a sickness. There is no problem in you, but the only thing is mindset. You have that hindrance. Some people know how much ever you talk, they will never be convinced. No, I understand, but still, you know what that is called as PPA. That is also part of your hindrance to learn, right? It becomes a kind of a disability in you. Now, God did not make you that way. You are not formed that way in your mother's womb. But the point is, you created, you made yourself that way. So, language is a uniquely human faculty that allows us to communicate to each other through the use of words. Our language functions include speaking, understanding what others are saying, perseverance skills, understanding, repeating things we have heard, right? You learn something, memorize, and the next day you have to go and present it, articulate it without even looking. See how I'm articulating now? I have only this much of notes, which you don't see. It's secret note, right? But I'm talking for 20-25 minutes by looking at that little bit of secret note. You should be able to do the same at your workplace. If you're a student, you should be able to write that as an essay, or maybe project presentations will be there. Lecturers will be asking you to repeat what you have learned, right? That's called as testing your memory power. Naming common objects, reading and writing also is part of that, right? Aphasia is a general term used to refer to deficits in the language functions. Deficits means what? Repair. Some repair has happened, and who did that repair? Brain was working fine. Now you go and crash the car, what happens? Engine gets crashed and you cannot drive the car. Engine must be repaired, right? Mindset must be changed. That's what I mean to say. PPA is caused by degeneration in the parts of the brain that are responsible for speech and language. And who is doing that? You. So you need to change your attitude. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Now, how I can improve vocabulary? What are the tips I have in front of me? What are the choices I have? Why don't you talk about that? That's exactly why I'm here, right? I'm going to give you 6 or 7 tips very quickly, easy tips to follow. Develop a reading habit. Beloved, I'm telling you this, my friend, wherever you are, develop that habit of reading. Reading skills are very, very important, right? Whichever book you like, whichever subject you like. You like politics, pick politics, or you pursue a degree in politics, right? You read more. We all read, no? But for some reasons we had been reading to mug things and write as an exam without even understanding whatever it is. You want to know who that example is? It is me. I had been like that, but I had to change my attitude. Why? Because from mugging attitude I started understanding. While reading, I'm understanding. That's why you see top scorers, they don't mug. They understand, and then they write, narrate it differently. Wow, then the readers, it will be, so interesting to read such narrations, right? When they exaggerate the meaning and explain dynamically. Wow, it is so wonderful, right? Rather than you mugging up and writing exactly whatever it is, it'll be sick to read, right? Vocabulary building is easiest when you encounter words in context. It's like a building block. You build that block, right, and you make a building. Like that, when you develop this habit of reading, it will become a building block kind of thing, and ultimately you will see the superstructure being built. That is the knowledge, right? Secondly, use dictionary, for example thesaurus or synonyms, right, meaning certain words when you come across which you have not heard, or you're hearing it for the first time, immediately have that pocket dictionary, right? Or you have a e-dictionary installed in your mobile phone. All of us work with mobile phone, no? Immediately you just zoom through, or ask Google assistant, right? Just speak up and she will tell you exactly what's the meaning. Immediately learn that, right? When you learn, third principle is apply. Use that newly learned word in your vocabulary when you're communicating to your own wife, husband, child, parents, anywhere, teachers, anywhere. People may mock you. You may end up making grammatical mistakes. This word has got no connection to the sentence. People will ridicule you. No problem. Fourth principle is learn from your mistakes. Don't refrain from making mistakes. Why? Because the more you make mistakes, the more you learn. Therefore, don't feel shy. Huh? What if I speak this language and people will make fun of me? Fine, no problem. Let them laugh. Let them enjoy. See, in a way, at least you can give that humor. No, people will laugh. No, many people have no incidents or instances to laugh, man. At least you can make people laugh. No, fine. But you learn from your errors. That's most important, right? Use flashcards. Flashcards, fifth principle. Flashcards means a card with words. They often use it as part of communication training, so I've gone through that. You also try doing that, right? You don't need a communication program for that. You can do it on your own. A card with words, numbers, or pictures that is flashed to a class by the teacher, like that you can flash it to yourself, and through that you can kind of map it, words to numbers, and numbers to pictures, and words to pictures, like that you can map it. It's like a flashcard. You google it, you will find so many techniques to use flashcards. Now, sixth principle is subscribe to the word of the day. For example, there are various sites which gives you the word of the day with 3 4 important new words which you have not come across, right? That way, when you subscribe, what happens, every day they will send you a new sentence packaged with new words. Because therefore it's like a natural coaching, it's like an automatic coaching. You don't have to strive hard, you can easily learn, right? Seventhly, use mnemonics. Mnemonics is a term, a method or system to improve the memory. What happens is you will end up reading one new word every day. What happens in a month? 30 new words. Now, can you remember all? You need to use this technique called as mnemonics. Don't ask me to teach mnemonics now because the time won't be sufficient. Go to YouTube, type mnemonics. M is silent. Mnemonics. Very good technique to remember the word, and when you remember the word you will be naturally able to, brain will help you to use that word, apply that word in a vocabulary, right? Part of your vocabulary. Therefore, that way in your natural communication skills, that improves. Without your knowledge you will improve. Why? That memory will help you to bring that word. Simple, right? Lastly, eighth technique, lastly, practice using new words in conversation passively. Passively means privately. Pick up toilet, my favorite place. So, I go to the loo before I get to a presentation, and I have to present it to an audience of 30 people. I get to a loo quickly. Especially what happens, no, the starting trouble is a big problem. First 1 minute, if you can get the attention of the audience, first 1 minute, if you can win your own confidence, right, and your own fluency, that's it, man. The next 1 hour is yours. Floor is yours. That first 1 2 minutes, whatever you need to practice, immediately get to a loo or take a break or get to a private place, rehearse it quickly. Don't memorize it and vomit on people's face. Not like that. Rehearse it quickly and walk in confidence and talk that 1 minute and all that. Get everybody's attention, right? All right. With this, we end this session, and this session doesn't have the scope of teaching you how to present body language and all that. That I will take in a different class. Body language, how to shake hands, how to keep your shoulders erect, how to stand straight, how to look intently, eyeball to eyeball. All these things are part of body language and communication skills, presentation skills, especially if you're presenting a larger audience, right? We will talk about that in a different session, but here I hope you understood the importance of vocabulary, and vocabulary is nothing but which makes your communication effective. All right, tata. God bless you, and stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel, and whatever help you need, like titles like this, topics like this, message me. 9902212152 is my WhatsApp number. I'm going to help you, and stay together. Stay connected with me. Okay. God bless you, and I will meet you soon with a different session. Bye. Take care.